3 C's. Don't cap, don't copy, be concise. For the UNS Med application, and for applications in general, I think the focus is on being authentic and having a clear sense of character. So here's 3 things that will hopefully help you achieve that. This is a disclaimer, these are my thoughts and not facts, so feel free to disagree, but please don't come for me. Wait, that rhymes. Anyways, firstly, don't write stuff that you can't talk about in detail. Basically, just don't cap. If you hate biology, don't pretend to like it. If you've written an experience, make sure you can talk about it properly. For example, I don't think it's a good idea to say that, you're a volunteer who gives back to the community if you have no evidence of actually doing that. For example, through extracurriculars at school, or volunteering in any charity, or, just in your local community. It may come off as pandering, or at worst, being fake and even deceptive. Just think of the application as part of the actual med interview. Act like everything you've written in your application is something you have to present and speak about in an interview. I actually didn't do this, but if I could go back, I would. You can get someone to read through your application and ask you questions about what you've written. If you're unable to answer or have difficulty answering, either cut that out or do some reflection and edit that thought, then rinse and repeat. Secondly, don't copy the cliches like, I want to help people, or I love science. If you do, make sure you put a unique spin on it. For example, I'm pretty sure I did mention wanting to help people, but I specified in what way. And in interviews, I connected it to my skills, passions, and experience with health and healthcare. Basically, I want to help people by itself is very vapid, bland, and one-dimensional. But by adding in your because, saying I want to help people because of XYZ, it spruces it up a bit and adds a dimension to your answer and your character. And back to cliches, in my very humble opinion, I think under no circumstances should you ever say something like, I came out of the womb set on medicine. It is my life calling. I am enchanted with the aesthetics of the Lytton cardiologist death 1, 2, 3 or whatever it's called. And I want to be rich. Look, I think this is obvious, and sometimes I wonder if people actually say this stuff, but you never know. So I'm saying it here just in case. Basically, don't do it. Okay, and the third thing I think is to be concise and make sure every word counts because the word count is so little. From memory, I think you only get 30 or 50 words to answer some questions, but that might have changed. So basically, just think of each word as forming a, I can't say the word, mosaic? I don't know. Basically, think of each word as forming like a picture of who you are as an individual. For this, I'd recommend doing several drafts. Keep editing your application and cutting out filler words and superfluous language. Again, this is just what I did, but maybe you're just a Chad who can whip out a first draft and it sounds great, and I respect that, but that wasn't me. So again, I'd recommend doing at least 2 to 3 drafts. Maybe you can even ask your parents or tutors to give you feedback. However, ensure that you have a strong voice and a sense of character in your application. Try to write your application in such a way that it is unlikely 1,000 other people have written that idea in the same words. If you're stuck on what to write, you can set a timer for 60 seconds and do a mind map for each question or type it up. Then restart the timer and flesh out any ideas that you like, and then just keep repeating this until you find something that you're kind of happy with. Now, finally, this is just an extra thing, but I think when we're applying for med, we sometimes feel like there has to be a foolproof way or keywords that will guarantee your success with the application and interview. Personally, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all guaranteed foolproof method for getting in. I think having the mindset that, if I say XYZ, they'll definitely let me in, or that, there's a secret formula and I just have to say this, is probably not advantageous and may even hinder you in your application and interview. I think you should focus instead on emphasizing the positive qualities and aspects of your character and emphasizing why that would make you a good medical student in particular. Although I just said there's no secret foolproof method, I do think that there's some common qualities that medical students and doctors should have or often have, like empathy, resilience, professionalism, humility, the ability to self-reflect and be self-aware. Though I do think this should be expected of everyone, just as decent people. So I would recommend highlighting some of these qualities if you have them. And also, sorry if I sound a bit like, moralistic or didactic. That's not my intent at all. It's just a thought I had because back when I was preparing Year 12, there were times where I also had this mindset and just kind of wanted a guaranteed way of, saying the right thing. So overall, a summary of this video. Be authentic, be honest, highlight your strengths and positive qualities. Hone in on what sets you apart from other candidates. Put a unique spin of cliches if you're going to be using them. Don't say qualities or words just for the sake of it, or because you think you'll get in if you say it. Make sure you verbalize everything you've written in your application, and make sure you edit and look over your applications a few times to ensure that there's no typos. And also submit it before the due date, which is the 30th of September for rural and local students. So best of luck with your applications, med journey and studies in general. If there's any questions or topics you want me to cover, feel free to drop them in the comments. And thank you to Aya for asking me this question about UNS Med applications. Also, I have my end of phase exams coming up this term, so I'll try posting regularly in mid-November after my exams. So to conclude, do your best, I believe in you, and take care of your mental and physical health. Okay, bye!